Hey there, fellow explorers of the inner world. Have you ever found yourself lost in the maze of your own thoughts, trapped in worries about the future or regrets about the past? Maybe you're standing in line at the grocery store, mindlessly scrolling through your phone, completely oblivious to the world around you. Or perhaps you're lying in bed at night, your mind racing with anxieties and to-dos, preventing you from finding a moment of peace. We've all been there, haven't we? It's like our minds are these runaway trains, constantly pulling us away from the present moment, the only moment that truly exists. But what if I told you there's a way to step off that train, to find a sense of stillness and peace amidst the chaos of daily life? That's what we're going to explore today, as we dive deep into the wisdom of Eckhart Tolle's The Power of Now. This book isn't just another self-help guide filled with empty promises and quick fixes. It's a profound exploration of the human condition, a journey into the depths of our being, and a guide to awakening to the present moment. Eckhart Tolle, a spiritual teacher and author, invites us to step out of the whirlwind of our thoughts and into the stillness of the present moment. He shows us how to tap into a wellspring of inner peace and joy that's always available, right here, right now, if only we knew how to access it. In this episode, we're going to unpack the core principles of The Power of Now, exploring what it truly means to be present and how to break free from the grip of our restless minds. We'll take a closer look at the ego, that inner voice that's always chattering, judging, and comparing. And most importantly, we'll discover practical tools and techniques to quiet the mind and reconnect with the stillness within. So, if you're ready to embark on a journey of self-discovery and unlock the power of the present moment, then settle into a comfortable space and let's dive in. What exactly is the power of now? It's more than just a catchy phrase. It's a profound shift in perspective, a way of being that allows us to tap into the source of true joy and fulfillment. Imagine a clear, blue sky, stretching endlessly, uninterrupted by a single cloud. That's what the present moment is like. It's a state of pure awareness, free from the clutter of thoughts, worries, and to-do lists. When we're truly present, we're not dwelling on that embarrassing moment from last week or worrying about the presentation we have to give next month. We're simply here, now, experiencing life as it unfolds, with all its sights, sounds, and sensations. But let's be honest, how often do we actually experience life this way? If we're really truthful with ourselves, most of the time, our minds are like hamsters on a wheel, racing with thoughts, plans, anxieties, and regrets. We get so caught up in the drama of our lives that we miss the beauty of the simple things, the warmth of the sun on our skin, the taste of our morning coffee, the genuine laughter of a loved one. These precious moments slip away unnoticed because our minds are somewhere else entirely. But why is it so hard to stay present? Why are we so prone to getting lost in the labyrinth of our thoughts? Well, there are a few reasons for this. First, our society conditions us to be constantly striving for the future. We're taught to chase goals, achieve success, and accumulate possessions, all in the name of some elusive future happiness. It's like we're always chasing the carrot on a stick, never quite reaching it. Second, we often shy away from facing the present moment head-on. We might be afraid of uncomfortable emotions, painful memories, or the uncertainty of the unknown. So, we escape into the familiar territory of our thoughts, creating a mental world where we feel more in control, even if it's just an illusion. But here's the truth. The only real control we have is in the present moment. The past is gone, vanished like footprints in the sand, washed away by the tide. And the future? Well, it's not even here yet. It's a mirage, a mental construct that exists only in our imagination. All we truly have is this moment, right here, right now. And when we fully embrace this moment, without judgment or reservation, we tap into a source of power and peace that's far greater than anything our minds can conjure up. So, how do we start to reclaim the power of now? How do we break free from the tyranny of our thoughts and experience the peace and joy that's always available to us? It all begins with understanding the nature of our own minds. We often identify so completely with our thoughts that we forget they are just that, thoughts. They're not reality. They're simply mental events, like clouds drifting across the vast canvas of the sky. Think of your mind as a tool, like a Swiss Army knife with all its different attachments and functions. It can help you plan your day, solve problems, and create amazing things. But just like any tool, it needs to be used skillfully and with purpose. Imagine trying to use a hammer to stir your soup. It's the wrong tool for the job, and it's going to create a disaster in your kitchen. Similarly, when we allow our minds to run wild, to constantly chatter, judge and analyze, we create unnecessary stress and suffering for ourselves. Eckhart Tolle calls this uncontrolled mental activity mental chatter. It's that incessant stream of thoughts that fills our heads, often without us even realizing it. It's the voice that whispers doubts in our ears, tells us we're not good enough, worries about what might go wrong, and replays past mistakes over and over again like a broken record. This mental chatter is a major source of stress and unhappiness, keeping us trapped in a loop of negativity and fear. Think of it like this. Imagine you're trying to have a conversation with someone, but there's a radio blaring in the background, constantly interrupting and distracting you. That's what mental chatter is like. It's a constant barrage of thoughts, opinions, and judgments that prevents us from truly connecting with ourselves and the present moment. This mental chatter can take many forms. It might be the voice of self-criticism, telling you that you're not smart enough, attractive enough, or successful enough. It might be the voice of worry, constantly anticipating problems and disasters that may never happen. Or it might be the voice of regret, replaying past mistakes and missed opportunities, keeping you stuck in the past. The problem with mental chatter is that we often mistake it for reality. We believe the thoughts that our minds generate, and we allow them to dictate our emotions and behaviors. We get so caught up in the stories that our minds create that we forget that they are just that, stories. But here's the empowering part. We don't have to be at the mercy of our minds. We can learn to step back from our thoughts, to observe them without getting swept away by their current. It's like watching a movie. You can get completely absorbed in the story, or you can simply observe the images and sounds on the screen without getting emotionally entangled. So, how do we break free from this mental chatter? One of the simplest and most effective ways is to bring our attention to the present moment. When we focus on our senses, what we see, hear, smell, taste and touch, we naturally draw our attention away from the swirling thoughts in our heads. Try this right now. Take a deep breath and really pay attention to the feeling of the air flowing in and out of your body. Feel the weight of your body in the chair, the texture of your clothes against your skin, the temperature of the air around you. Listen to the sounds in your environment, the hum of the refrigerator, the chirping of birds outside, the distant rumble of traffic. As you focus on your senses, you'll notice that your mind begins to settle down, like a stormy sea gradually calming. Another powerful technique is to engage in a repetitive activity that requires your full attention. This could be something like walking, gardening, knitting, or even washing the dishes. The key is to focus completely on the task at hand, bringing your attention to the physical sensations and movements involved. For example, if you're washing the dishes, pay close attention to the feel of the warm water on your hands, the bubbles of the soap, the sound of the dishes clinking against each other. Don't let your mind wander off to worries about work or plans for the weekend. Just be fully present with the act of washing the dishes. I remember when I first started practicing mindfulness, I found it incredibly difficult to quiet my mind. My thoughts were like a pack of wild monkeys, swinging from one thought to the next, never settling down. But gradually, with consistent practice, I started to experience moments of stillness, moments where the mental chatter faded and I felt a profound sense of peace. It was like discovering a hidden oasis of calm within the bustling city of my mind. Now, I'm not suggesting that we can completely eliminate our thoughts. That's not the goal. The goal is to learn to relate to our thoughts in a new way, to observe them without judgment or getting carried away by their stories. It's about recognizing that we are not our thoughts. We are the awareness that observes the thoughts. And that awareness is always present, always peaceful, always free. And you know what's truly amazing? When you start to connect with that inner observer, that awareness that's always present, it actually makes it easier to navigate those challenging emotions that inevitably arise in life. It's like you're no longer completely consumed by them. You can observe them, acknowledge them, and even allow them to be there without letting them dictate your actions or steal your peace. Think of it like this. Imagine you're standing on a beach, watching the waves roll in and out. Sometimes the waves are gentle and calm, lapping softly at the shore. Other times they're powerful and turbulent, crashing against the rocks. But you, the observer, remain standing on the beach, unaffected by the changing tides. Similarly, when you connect with your inner observer, you create a sense of distance between yourself and your emotions. You're no longer caught up in the drama of your feelings. You can observe them with a sense of detachment, recognizing that they are temporary, like the waves on the ocean. This doesn't mean that you become emotionally numb or indifferent. It simply means that you're no longer at the mercy of your emotions. You can acknowledge them, honor them, and even learn from them without letting them control you. For example, let's say you're feeling angry. Instead of getting swept away by the anger, lashing out at others, or suppressing your feelings, you can observe the anger with a sense of curiosity. You might notice the sensations in your body, the tightness in your chest, the clenching of your fists, the heat rising in your face. You might also notice the thoughts that are fueling the anger. This is unfair. They shouldn't have done that. I can't believe this is happening. By observing the anger without judgment, you create space for it to dissipate. You're no longer adding fuel to the fire with your thoughts and reactions. You're simply allowing the anger to be there, like a passing storm. And as you become more skilled at observing your emotions, you'll start to notice patterns and triggers. You might realize that certain situations or people tend to evoke specific emotions in you. This awareness allows you to make conscious choices about how you respond to those triggers. For instance, if you notice that you tend to get anxious in social situations, you can start to prepare yourself mentally and emotionally before attending social events. You might practice mindfulness techniques to calm your mind, or you might visualize yourself feeling confident and at ease in social settings. By becoming more aware of your emotional patterns, you can start to break free from old habits and create new, healthier ways of responding to life's challenges. you can learn to navigate your emotions with greater skill and ease, creating a life that is filled with peace, joy, and fulfillment. Now, as we explore the depths of the power of now, we can't ignore the elephant in the room, or rather, the voice inside our heads. This voice, as Eckhart Tolle describes it, is the ego. It's that incessant chatterbox that's always commenting, judging, comparing, and seeking attention. It's the part of us that worries about what others think, that craves recognition and validation, and that feels threatened by anything that challenges its self-image. Think of the ego as a character you've created, a persona you present to the world. It's built on a foundation of fear and insecurity, constantly seeking to protect itself from perceived threats. It thrives on drama, conflict, and the need to be right. It loves to label things as good or bad, right or wrong, creating a sense of separation and duality. But here's the liberating truth. The ego is not who you truly are. It's a mental construct, an illusion that you've come to identify with. Beneath the surface of the ego lies your true essence, your authentic self, which is pure awareness, pure being. This true self is not concerned with the opinions of others, the dramas of the world, or the fleeting pleasures of the senses. It's a source of peace, joy, and unconditional love that's always present within you, waiting to be discovered. Imagine yourself as an actor on a stage, playing a role. You might get so caught up in the character, the costumes, and the dialogue that you forget who you really are. But when the play is over, you take off the costume, step off the stage, and return to your true self. Similarly, the ego is like a role we play in the drama of life. We get so identified with our thoughts, emotions, and experiences that we forget our true essence. But when we step back from the drama, when we quiet the mind and connect with the present moment, we rediscover our true self, the awareness that is always present, always peaceful, always free. So how do we break free from the grip of the ego and reconnect with our true self? It starts with becoming aware of the ego's tricks and patterns. Notice how it constantly seeks to draw your attention to the past or the future, keeping you trapped in cycles of regret or worry. Pay attention to how it judges and criticizes yourself and others, creating a sense of separation and conflict. For example, let's say you're at a social gathering and you notice yourself feeling self-conscious and comparing yourself to others. They seem so confident and successful, you might think. Why am I so awkward and shy? This is the ego at work, creating a sense of separation and inadequacy. Or perhaps you're at work and you receive some constructive criticism from your boss. You might feel defensive and start to make excuses, or you might internalize the criticism and start to doubt your abilities. This is the ego trying to protect its self-image, even if it means sacrificing your growth and learning. By becoming aware of these patterns, you can start to disidentify from the ego and make conscious choices about how you respond to its whispers. You can choose to step back from the drama, to quiet the mind, and to connect with the present moment. And in that space of presence, you'll discover a deeper sense of self, a self that is beyond the ego's illusions and limitations. You'll tap into a source of peace, joy, and love that is always available, right here, right now. So we've talked about recognizing the ego and its patterns, but how do we actually start to dismantle this illusion of self that causes so much suffering? It's not about fighting the ego or trying to suppress it, that only strengthens its grip. Instead, it's about bringing awareness to its presence and choosing a different way of being. One of the most powerful practices for dissolving the ego is, as we've discussed, mindfulness. When we're mindful, we're fully present in the moment, observing our thoughts and emotions without judgment. We create a space between ourselves and the ego, recognizing that we are not our thoughts, but rather the awareness that observes them. Think of it like this. Imagine you're watching a movie. You can get completely engrossed in the story, identifying with the characters and their emotions. Or you can sit back and simply observe the movie unfolding on the screen, aware that it's just a story, a collection of images and sounds. Similarly, when you're mindful, you're not getting caught up in the drama of your thoughts and emotions. You're observing them with a sense of detachment, recognizing that they are temporary, like clouds passing across the sky. Another powerful tool for dissolving the ego is self-inquiry. This involves questioning the thoughts and beliefs that create the ego's sense of self. When the ego tells you that you're not good enough, ask yourself, is that really true? What evidence do I have to support that belief? When the ego tells you that you need to be successful to be happy, ask yourself, is that really true? Can I find happiness in this moment, regardless of my external circumstances? Self-inquiry helps to expose the ego's lies and illusions. It helps us to see that the ego's stories are often based on fear, insecurity, and a need for control. And as we begin to question these stories, we start to free ourselves from their grip. For example, let's say you're feeling anxious about an upcoming presentation at work. The ego might start to whisper doubts in your ear. What if you mess up? What if they don't like your ideas? What if you make a fool of yourself? Instead of getting caught up in these fears, you can practice self-inquiry. Ask yourself, is it really true that I'm going to mess up? Have I ever completely bombed a presentation before? What's the worst that could happen? By questioning the ego's fears, you start to see them for what they are, just thoughts, not reality. And as you do this, the anxiety begins to dissipate. Another key practice is cultivating presence. When we're fully present in the moment, the ego naturally fades into the background. It can't survive in the light of present moment awareness. So engage your senses fully. Notice the sights, sounds, smells, and sensations around you. Pay attention to your breath, to the movement of your body, to the taste of your food. The more you can anchor yourself in the present moment, the less power the ego will have over you. Finally, remember that dissolving the ego is a journey, not a destination. There will be times when the ego rears its head, when you get caught up in its stories and illusions. But don't despair. Simply notice what's happening, acknowledge the ego's presence, and gently redirect your attention back to the present moment. With consistent practice, you'll find that the ego's grip begins to loosen. You'll experience moments of peace and freedom that were previously unimaginable, and you'll start to live a life that is more aligned with your true self, a self that is grounded in love, joy, and connection. Now, you might be wondering, okay, this all sounds great, but how do I actually apply these concepts in my daily life? It's one thing to understand the power of the present moment and the illusion of the ego, but it's another thing entirely to integrate these principles into our everyday experiences. The good news is that cultivating presence doesn't require you to retreat to a mountaintop or spend hours in meditation. Although those can be helpful practices, it's about making small, conscious choices throughout your day to bring your attention back to the present moment, to notice the ego's chatter, and to choose a different way of being. One of the simplest ways to do this is to incorporate mindfulness into your daily routine. Start by setting aside a few minutes each day for formal mindfulness practice. This could involve sitting quietly and focusing on your breath, or it could involve a guided meditation practice. There are many excellent resources available online and through apps that can guide you through mindfulness meditations. But mindfulness isn't just something you do for a few minutes each day. It's a way of being that you can cultivate throughout your day. While you're brushing your teeth, pay attention to the sensations of the toothbrush on your gums, the taste of the toothpaste, the sound of the water running. While you're walking to work, notice the feeling of your feet on the ground, the sights and sounds around you, the sensation of the air on your skin. By bringing your attention to the present moment in this way, you're training your mind to be more present, more aware, and less caught up in the ego's chatter. Another powerful practice is to cultivate gratitude. Take a few moments each day to appreciate the good things in your life, no matter how small they may seem. This could be the warmth of your bed in the morning, the taste of your favorite meal, the sound of your child's laughter, or the kindness of a stranger. Gratitude helps to shift your focus from what's lacking in your life to what's already present. It helps you to appreciate the abundance that surrounds you and to connect with a sense of joy and contentment. You can also incorporate presence into your interactions with others. When you're talking to someone, really listen to what they're saying, without interrupting or planning your response. Make eye contact, notice their body language, and try to truly understand their perspective. By being fully present in your interactions, you create deeper connections with others and cultivate a sense of empathy and compassion. And when challenges arise, as they inevitably will, remember to bring your attention back to the present moment. Notice the thoughts and emotions that are arising without judgment. Ask yourself, what is this moment asking of me? And then respond from a place of presence and awareness, rather than reacting from the ego's fears and insecurities. By incorporating these practices into your daily life, you'll start to experience the transformative power of the present moment. You'll find yourself feeling more peaceful, more joyful, and more connected to yourself and the world around you. And here's a crucial point that often gets overlooked when we talk about presence. It's not just about cultivating a sense of inner peace and calm. It's also about accessing a deeper level of aliveness, a vibrancy that permeates every aspect of our experience. When we're truly present, we're not just observing the world around us, we're fully engaging with it. Our senses become heightened, our perceptions become clearer, and we experience a sense of connection to everything around us. Think of it like this. Imagine you're walking through a forest. If you're lost in thought, worried about the past or the future, you might not even notice the beauty around you. You might miss the sunlight filtering through the leaves, the sound of the birds singing, the scent of the pine needles. But when you're present, you become fully immersed in the experience. You notice the intricate patterns of the bark on the trees, the delicate wildflowers blooming on the forest floor, the gentle breeze rustling through the leaves. You feel the ground beneath your feet, the air on your skin, the sun warming your face. This is presence in action. It's about awakening to the richness and vibrancy of the present moment, to the symphony of life unfolding all around us. And this aliveness isn't just limited to our external experiences. It also extends to our inner world, to our thoughts, emotions, and sensations. When we're present, we're not afraid to feel our feelings fully, to experience the full spectrum of human emotions, from joy and excitement to sadness and grief. This doesn't mean that we get swept away by our emotions or allow them to control us. It simply means that we acknowledge them, honor them, and allow them to flow through us without resistance. For example, if you're feeling sad, allow yourself to feel the sadness fully. Don't try to push it away or distract yourself from it. Instead, notice the sensations in your body, the thoughts that arise in your mind, the quality of your energy. Allow the sadness to be there, like a passing cloud in the sky. And as you allow yourself to feel the sadness fully, you might notice that it begins to transform. It might intensify for a while, then gradually subside. You might experience other emotions alongside the sadness, perhaps anger, fear, or even a glimmer of hope. The key is to remain present with whatever arises, without trying to control or change it. By embracing the full spectrum of human emotions, we open ourselves to a deeper level of aliveness, a richness and depth that we might have never known before. We discover that even in the midst of pain and suffering, there is a profound beauty and wisdom to be found. So, as you continue your journey with the power of now, remember that presence isn't just about finding peace and calm. It's also about awakening to the aliveness of the present moment, to the richness and vibrancy of your experience, both internal and external. And in that state of presence, you'll discover a deeper connection to yourself, to others, and to the world around you. You'll experience a sense of joy, wonder, and gratitude that permeates every aspect of your life. Now, as we journey deeper into the heart of the power of now, we encounter a concept that might seem paradoxical at first, the idea of embracing our suffering. Eckhart Tolle suggests that our resistance to pain, our attempts to avoid or suppress uncomfortable emotions, is actually what creates much of our suffering. Think of it like this. Imagine you have a splinter in your finger. You could try to ignore it, pretend it's not there, and go about your day. But the splinter will continue to irritate you, causing pain and discomfort. The only way to truly heal is to acknowledge the splinter, gently remove it, and allow the wound to heal. Similarly, when we resist our emotional pain, when we try to push it away or numb ourselves to it, we only prolong our suffering. The pain remains trapped within us, festering and growing stronger. But when we embrace our pain, when we allow ourselves to feel it fully, without judgment or resistance, we create space for healing and transformation. We acknowledge the pain, we honor it, and we allow it to flow through us like a river. This doesn't mean that we wallow in our pain or allow it to consume us. It simply means that we acknowledge its presence, we observe it with curiosity, and we allow it to be there without trying to change it or push it away. For example, let's say you're going through a difficult breakup. You might feel heartbroken, betrayed, and lost. Instead of trying to suppress these feelings, allow yourself to feel them fully. Cry if you need to, talk to a trusted friend, or write in a journal. Don't judge yourself for feeling sad or angry. Simply allow the emotions to be there, like waves in the ocean. And as you allow yourself to feel the pain fully, you might notice that it begins to shift and transform. It might intensify for a while, then gradually subside. You might experience other emotions alongside the pain, perhaps anger, fear, or even a glimmer of hope. The key is to remain present with whatever arises, without trying to control or change it. Now, this doesn't mean that we should seek out suffering or intentionally inflict pain on ourselves. It simply means that when pain arises, as it inevitably will in life, we don't resist it. We embrace it, we learn from it, and we allow it to guide us towards healing and growth. Eckhart Tolle uses the metaphor of a pain body to describe the accumulation of unresolved emotional pain that we carry within us. This pain body can be triggered by certain situations or people, causing us to react in ways that are not aligned with our true selves. For example, if you experienced criticism or rejection in your childhood, you might have developed a pain body around the feeling of not being good enough. This pain body might be triggered in situations where you feel judged or evaluated, causing you to react with defensiveness, anger, or self-doubt. The key to healing the pain body is to become aware of it and to bring it into the light of consciousness. When we're able to observe the pain body without judgment, we begin to disidentify from it. We realize that we are not our pain body. We are the awareness that observes the pain body, and as we become more present with our emotional pain, we create space for healing and transformation. We can begin to release the old patterns and beliefs that are no longer serving us, and to embrace a new way of being that is grounded in peace, love, and acceptance. So, we've explored the power of presence, the illusion of the ego, and the importance of embracing our pain. But you might be wondering, how does all of this relate to finding true happiness and fulfillment? Eckhart Tolle suggests that true happiness isn't something we find in the external world, in achievements, possessions, or relationships. It's not something we chase after or strive for. Rather, it's a state of being that's always available to us, right here, right now, when we connect with the present moment. Think of it like this. Imagine you're searching for a treasure that you believe is buried somewhere far away. You spend years traveling the world, searching high and low, enduring hardships and challenges, all in pursuit of this elusive treasure. But what if the treasure was actually buried in your own backyard all along? Similarly, many of us spend our lives searching for happiness in external things: a new job, a bigger house, a romantic partner, the approval of others. We believe that once we achieve these things, we'll finally be happy. But this is a trap, an illusion created by the ego. True happiness, according to Tolle, is not found in the future or in external circumstances. It's found in the present moment, in the simple act of being fully present with whatever is happening. It's found in the appreciation of a beautiful sunset, the joy of a child's laughter, the warmth of a loving embrace. Now, this doesn't mean that we should give up on our goals or stop striving for things that are important to us. It simply means that we don't make our happiness dependent on achieving those goals. We find joy in the journey, in the present moment, regardless of the outcome. For example, let's say you're working towards a promotion at work. You could spend all your time and energy focused on the future, worrying about whether or not you'll get the promotion, comparing yourself to your colleagues, and feeling anxious about the outcome. Or you could approach your work with a sense of presence and purpose. You could focus on doing your best in each moment, enjoying the challenges and learning opportunities, and appreciating the contributions you're making to your team. And if you do get the promotion, that's wonderful. But even if you don't, you'll still have experienced a sense of fulfillment and joy in the process. This is the power of finding happiness in the present moment. It's not about denying our desires or giving up on our dreams. It's about finding joy in the journey, in the simple act of being fully present with whatever is happening. And when we do this, we discover a deeper sense of peace and contentment that is not dependent on external circumstances. We realize that true happiness is not something we chase after, but rather something we cultivate within ourselves, moment by moment. So, we've explored how presence can lead to a deeper sense of happiness and fulfillment. But what about those times when life throws us curveballs, when we face challenges and setbacks that threaten to derail us? How can we stay present and grounded in the midst of adversity? Eckhart Tolle suggests that our challenges, our struggles, even our pain, can be opportunities for growth and transformation. When we resist our challenges, when we try to avoid or suppress them, we only create more suffering for ourselves. But when we embrace our challenges, when we face them with courage and presence, we open ourselves to the possibility of profound learning and growth. Think of it like this. Imagine you're a tree standing in a storm. The wind is howling, the rain is pounding, and the branches are swaying violently. You could try to resist the storm, to hold on tightly and refuse to bend. But this would only make you more vulnerable to breaking. The wise tree, however, knows how to bend with the wind, to adapt to the changing circumstances. It doesn't resist the storm. It embraces it, allowing the wind and rain to wash over it, knowing that it will emerge stronger and more resilient. Similarly, when we face challenges in life, we can choose to resist them, to fight against them, to try to control the uncontrollable. But this only creates more stress and suffering. The wiser approach is to embrace our challenges, to acknowledge them, to feel the emotions that arise, and to allow ourselves to be guided by the wisdom of the present moment. For example, let's say you lose your job. This is a significant challenge, and it's natural to feel a range of emotions: sadness, anger, fear, and uncertainty. But instead of getting caught up in these emotions, allow yourself to feel them fully, without judgment. Then, ask yourself, what is this moment asking of me? Perhaps it's asking you to take some time to reflect on your career path, to explore new opportunities, or to develop new skills. Perhaps it's asking you to connect with your loved ones, to seek support, or to simply rest and recharge. By embracing the challenge and listening to the wisdom of the present moment, you can transform this setback into an opportunity for growth and transformation. Now, this doesn't mean that we should seek out challenges or intentionally create difficulties for ourselves. It simply means that when challenges arise, as they inevitably will in life, we don't resist them. We embrace them, we learn from them, and we allow them to guide us towards a deeper understanding of ourselves and the world around us. And in the midst of our challenges, we can find solace in the present moment. We can find peace in the stillness of our breath, in the beauty of nature, in the connection with our loved ones. By anchoring ourselves in the present moment, we can navigate life's storms with grace and resilience, emerging stronger and wiser on the other side. Now, as we approach the culmination of our exploration of the power of now, it's essential to address a question that often arises when we discuss presence and the ego. If I'm not my thoughts, and I'm not my emotions, then who am I? This is a profound question, one that has puzzled philosophers and spiritual seekers for centuries. Eckhart Tolle offers a simple yet profound answer. You are the awareness that observes your thoughts and emotions. You are the consciousness that experiences life. You are the stillness beneath the surface of the turbulent mind. Think of it like this. Imagine the sky on a stormy day. The clouds are swirling, the wind is howling, and the rain is pounding. But behind the storm, the sky itself remains untouched, vast, and serene. Similarly, your true self is like the sky. It's the backdrop against which your thoughts, emotions, and experiences unfold. It's the awareness that observes all these things without being affected by them. This awareness, this consciousness, is your true essence. It's the source of your being, the wellspring of peace, joy, and love that resides within you. Now, this might seem like an abstract concept, but you can experience this awareness directly through practices like mindfulness and meditation. When you quiet the mind and turn your attention inward, you can sense this stillness, this presence that is always there beneath the surface of your thoughts and emotions. It's like diving deep into the ocean. At the surface, the waves might be choppy and turbulent, but as you dive deeper, you reach a level of stillness and tranquility, where the water is calm and clear. Similarly, when you turn your attention inward, you can access a deeper level of your being, a place of stillness and peace that is untouched by the turbulence of the external world. And as you connect with this awareness, you begin to realize that you are not your thoughts, your emotions, or your experiences. You are the observer, the witness, the consciousness that experiences all these things. This realization can be incredibly liberating. It frees you from the grip of the ego, from the need to identify with your thoughts and emotions. It allows you to experience life with a sense of detachment and equanimity, knowing that you are not your circumstances, but rather the awareness that observes them. And in this state of awareness, you discover a deeper sense of connection to yourself, to others, and to the universe as a whole. You realize that you're part of something larger than yourself, a vast and interconnected web of life. So, as you continue your journey with the power of now, remember that you're not your thoughts, your emotions, or your experiences. You are the awareness that observes all these things. You are the consciousness that experiences life. You are the stillness beneath the surface of the turbulent mind. And in that stillness, you can find true peace, joy, and freedom. And so, dear listeners, as we reach the end of our exploration into the profound depths of the power of now, let's take a moment to reflect on the transformative journey we've undertaken together. We've delved into the essence of presence, recognizing it not merely as a fleeting concept, but as a gateway to a richer, more authentic experience of life. We've explored the nature of our minds, acknowledging the incessant chatter that often distracts us from the present moment. We've encountered the ego, that master illusionist, and learned to recognize its tricks and patterns. We've discovered the power of mindfulness, of embracing our pain, and of finding true happiness in the now. But the power of now is more than just a collection of ideas and concepts. It's an invitation to a new way of being, a call to awaken to the truth of who we truly are. It's a journey that requires courage, commitment, and a willingness to step outside our comfort zones. As you continue on this journey, remember that the present moment is always available to you. It's the only place where life truly unfolds, where joy and sorrow, love and loss, success and failure all dance together in the symphony of existence. Embrace the present moment with all its complexities and contradictions. Don't shy away from the challenges, the pain, or the uncertainties. For it is in these moments when we are fully present that we discover our true strength, our resilience, and our capacity for love. Cultivate mindfulness in your daily life. Pay attention to your breath, to your senses, to the world around you. Notice the thoughts and emotions that arise, without judgment, and gently guide your attention back to the present moment, again and again. Remember that you are not your thoughts, your emotions, or your experiences. You are the awareness that observes all these things. You are the consciousness that experiences life. You are the stillness beneath the surface of the turbulent mind. And in that stillness, you can find true peace, joy, and freedom. Thank you for joining me on this exploration of the power of now. May you continue to deepen your practice of presence, to awaken to the truth of your being, and to live a life that is filled with joy, love, and fulfillment.